Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here today. I'm State Senator Flavio Bravo, representing Legislative District 26, comprising of Phoenix and Glendale. I'm joined today by Alejandra Gomez, Executive Director of Living United for Change in Arizona, Jose Rivera, owner of the beloved community business Tres Leches Café, Joe Garcia, Executive Director of Chicanos Por La Causa Action Fund, and Monica Villalobos, the President and CEO of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm deeply saddened to stand here with these community leaders today, as we should be here to announce new policy that makes our community stronger. Policy that gives our youth the confidence that Arizona will be a place they can grow, build a business, and raise a family. But sadly, that is not the case. Today, you will hear from these leaders about the damage Republican legislators have planned to hand down to our community and our state's economy. House Concurrent Resolution 2060 and its mirror legislation have no place in Arizona. We are looking down the barrel of policy that will not only kill industries and dig us deeper into an already growing budget deficit, but this will undoubtedly rip apart families and upend the work we have been doing for decades to strengthen our workforce. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Alejandra Gomez.
Hello, my name is Alejandra Gomez, and I'm the Executive Director of Living United for Change in Arizona, LUCHA. Not only am I deeply saddened because we are here today in 2024 having to relive the mistakes of SB 1070 in 2010. I was here for that fight. I was here when our communities were being stopped and persecuted in the streets, at checkpoints, and asked for their papers and being deported. I was here for the separation of our families. I was here for the pain and the aftermath of our economy, of what the devastation was to our families. Entire neighborhoods we would canvass, and people gone, house to house, empty, because our families left, because there was such an incredible state of hate. And now we have representatives in these offices that want to take us back to that moment. But we are not the Arizona of 2010. We are the Arizona of 2024, and this coalition is a powerful coalition, and we will not stand for the division and for the hate. We are going to stand together, and we are calling for leadership, not racism, not division, because that is not who the fabric and what the fabric of Arizona is. But there are some politicians that are hell-bent on making this their political posturing so they can advance in their political career. But what we are saying is not today. You can't have that. Not on the backs of our families. So the message that we are sending today as a coalition is that we are standing together. And we are not going to let our tourism economy plummet the way that it did in 2010. Millions of dollars lost. Sound strike, artists declining to come to Arizona. The reputation that Arizona has developed is that it is a scary place. And we have fought hard to stop that reputation, and we will not go back. And so today, I stand in unity with this coalition and with so many others across the state that are going to fight to ensure that we do not go back to 2010, to that division and to that hate. My family came from that moment. We left California during Prop 187. And what we learned in coming to Arizona is that you cannot run from bad policy or bad policymakers. You have to stay and stare them in the eye and fight back. And that is what we are going to do here today. And with that, I will hand it over to the owner of Tres Leches, Jose Rivera.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jose Rivera. I go by ET. I'm the proud owner of Tres Leches Cafe. I started selling my Mexican-style coffee brand from the porch of my house. And fast forward a few years now, I currently own 2 incredible coffee shops here in Phoenix and have over 20 employees. But we're not just a coffee shop. We're a staple in the community, a space for groups to gather, and for other Latinx businesses that are just getting started and need some exposure. Our establishment is one of many across the valley that are woven into the fabric of our communities, playing a crucial support role. And at this very moment, we're under attack. As a first-generation Mexican-American business owner, I am deeply troubled by the proposed legislation of HCR 2060. This bill threatens not only to impose crippling fines on businesses, but also sends a chilling message to the immigrant entrepreneurs like myself and immigrant workers that are not welcome, that we're not welcome. We came to this country seeking opportunity for the chance to contribute to its economy and to build a better life for our families. We poured our heart, sweat, and tears into building a dream that not only sustains us, but also enriches the barrios that we serve. Yet bills like HCR 2060 will criminalize us, push us further into the shadows, and stifle the very entrepreneurial spirit that defines the American dream, that defines what it means to be an Arizonan. That is the Arizona that I want to be a part of. The days of SB 1070 were dark and full of fear and uncertainty. It was impossible to ignore the reality that people who look like me were not welcomed in the state. It took years of painstaking work to roll back the Show Me Your Papers law, and even longer to repair the tarnished image of the state of Arizona. The damage done not only impacted the state's image, but hurt our local economy and tore families and communities apart. Now in 2024, we're once again headed in the wrong direction. And instead of Republicans supporting small businesses, they are looking to impose crippling policies. Now our job is to serve our communities, not to police it. And business owners have no business enforcing the Republican anti-immigrant laws. Tres Leches is a part of an ecosystem that not only serves the local community, but helps one another thrive. And you attack one, and everyone will be impacted. HCR 2060 will drive investments and economic development out of our state. It will sow fear into the Black and brown communities and erase us, exactly what HCR 2060 is intended to do. Senator Ken Bennett and Republican lawmakers, I urge you to stand with business owners and reject this HCR 2060 because Arizona's future is at stake. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it to Ariano Dominguez.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Aureliano Dominguez. I'm the proud owner of El Caprichoso Hot Dogs. If any of you never had a Sonoran hot dogs, you're missing out. I've been here for many, many years. I've been in business for over 33 years, and we encountered many battles. I mean, I feel like an MMA fighter already, you know. We had, SB 1070. We had the infamous Shari Arpaio. We divided our community, and it caused a lot of damage to families and businesses in Arizona. We had, as we all know, coronavirus. We had to reinvent ourselves to be able to survive not only the disease or whatever that was, but also to be able to stay in business. As we come out of that, we think we breathe in fresh air now. We encounter the inflation for businesses, especially small businesses, which I think it struggles more to make a profit. And just a couple of weeks ago, and then I found out that this new HCR 2060, and it's really like disappointing to Arizona and the way they politics don't see or don't care about our communities. And as a small business, I have to really put all my effort to make it. I came here to this country. I fell in love with the state of Arizona. I was facing homelessness. I didn't have a job. So I think for people, for newcomers with this new law, it's really the killing point. Is not going to be able to start anything. As we all know, small businesses is the backbone of this country. And by this proposed law, is going to kill all those people that dreams are to do a business or be business owners. I denounce HCR 2060 is bad for our community, for our state, and for our businesses. Thank you. Now, I present you Joe Garcia.
Good afternoon. I'm Joe Garcia, Executive Director of Chicanos Por La Causa Action Fund, and we're here to part of this great coalition because there's a great battle ahead, and we're hoping that we can stop it before it becomes a war on not only the Latino community and the most vulnerable of populations, but also the war on Arizona's economy, the war on Arizona's businesses, the war on all improvement we've made since SB 1070. Everything that we have improved on and advanced of and recovered of is at risk of going back to square one simply because of some backward ideology and some advantageous electioneering that's going on, which makes no sense. Arizona, we're better than this. We've been through this. We know what it feels like to have two self-inflicted black eyes. We know what it is to have our reputation damaged everywhere. Everywhere people asked during SB 1070, what's the deal with Arizona? And I was happy to say at some point, Arizona, we fixed it ourselves. We fixed it. Immigration is a problem. Illegal immigration, undocumented immigration, a border crisis. There is a problem, but there are always solutions. But you don't punish people for broken policies. You don't punish people for strengthening our economy and our way of life. You don't punish people ripping families apart simply because you want to get elected. And it's a sad state when I say this. If Arizona wants to have a voice in immigration policy, it should be at the federal level. There should be Arizona politicians saying, why isn't the U.S. House of Representatives listening to a bipartisan agreement that came out of the U.S. Senate? Why is that not even heard? Why is bipartisan not included in this solution? Because that's what it takes. It takes all of us. I'm holding right here a letter signed in 2011 by 61 CEOs in Arizona, addressed to then Senate President Russell Pierce, rest in peace, of we've had enough nonsense. Quit blaming people. Let's fix the policies. Enough nonsense in Arizona. And it took the CEOs signing with their signatures and their names saying enough is enough. It took professional sports teams to step up and say enough is enough. Los Suns. It took everybody saying enough is enough. No, it's going to take that again. Your voice needs to be heard. We need to say enough is enough because that's what it is, because we can't go down this road again. There's no guarantees that this isn't going to lead to something even worse. You think this will be the final step? No, this will be a step continuing to punish people and communities and our economy, and therefore punishing Arizona. Arizona, we're better than this. Thank you. And now, it's my privilege to introduce Monica Villalobos, the CEO and President of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Monica.
Thank you, Joe. Again, my name is Monica Villalobos, and I serve as President and CEO of your Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I strongly denounce this gaggle of bills laced with anti-immigrant sentiment that are soaring through the legislature right now. Make no mistake, these bills are dangerous. These bills are harmful to families, businesses, communities, and Arizona as a whole. For many years, Arizona had to navigate away from the dark days of SB 1070. Painstakingly, Arizona has repaired its image as open for business. However, HCR 2060 and the like tarnish that reputation and risk millions in revenue, not only for Arizona businesses, but also its families. We urge lawmakers to stop this package right now. It's lazy politics to scapegoat immigrants to get elected. That's right. This type of legislation, especially this type of legislation that has already been rejected by the courts. Arizona deserves better than that. We must demand it. For those of you who like facts, this has an economic impact of $2.5 billion and supports approximately 30,000 jobs lost throughout Arizona. And policies like this would cost the state several hundreds of millions of dollars, as we witnessed in 2010 with SB 1070. In just the first year of SB 1070, $141 million were lost in direct spending by convention goers. Nearly 3,000 jobs lost, 86.5 million in lost earnings, 253 million in lost economic output of the tourism industry, and 9.4 million in lost tax revenue. What's more is that immigrants have a spending power of 26.4 billion and have paid more than $8.7 billion in taxes. And immigrant entrepreneurs contribute more than 2.2 billion in business income. The total of business income of immigrant entrepreneurs is that 2.2 billion. That is a lot to lose in our economy. Bad policies like these do not strengthen Arizona law. Instead, it restricts the ability of Arizona businesses to thrive, especially when we have a workforce shortage, and threatens the very families that make up our economy. Why are we punishing the people that want to work? Why are we punishing the people that want to contribute to Arizona's economy? If the legislators proposing these bills really want to make an impact, fix root causes like our talent pipeline, provide resources to education. We are currently ranked 48th in the country in terms of education achievement. Let's fix that to create the talent pipeline for workforce that is needed. Repeal 203, the English only in public instruction. We are the only state in the country that continues to have a ridiculous bill like this on the books. Bilingualism, multilingualism is an asset. It's a skill in the workforce and one that we need. We have a natural resource. Voters want better education options. If you refer to the Education Forward Arizona study recently done, you will see that this is what voters want and this is what Arizona needs. We need to provide those resources for the talent pipeline. And if legislators are still looking for things to do, how about confirming our state directors rather than making a statement? The fact that we do not have an official state of public health services after a pandemic is ludicrous. That's a political statement. That is not what's best for Arizona. So I'm calling on common sense Republicans like me. I often say, I haven't left the Republican Party. The Republican Party left me when it decided to trade in hubris, hatred, and hostility instead of making Arizona a better business state. So I call on those common sense Republicans, I know you're out there, to stand with us. We all deserve better. The sleeping giant that woke up in 2010 for 1070 has been awake, and now it's organized. So let's not do this to our state again. Demand better today. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica, and thank you everybody for being here today. Thank you to our staff who helped put this together and the leadership here who so clearly explained how this policy will cause chaos in Arizona. And for what? We know how this story ends. We know that this policy will not stop the crisis at the border. It will not make us safer. It will not solve the fentanyl epidemic. This will do nothing more than cost our state jobs and millions lost over the numerous lawsuits bound to follow. So for all those listening in and paying attention, I ask you to get involved. Call your senators and tell them to vote no on House Concurrent Resolution 2060, and thank you. And now we ask that the media wait until after for questions, and all speakers will be available. Thank you all again for joining.